The Hong Kong-based private equity firm Pacific Alliance Asia Opportunity Fund, or PAX, sued Miles Guo in April 2017. PAX counsels from law firm O'Melveny argued that Guo was a fraud mastermind who the Interpol had just issued a red notice and was wanted by the Chinese government. Judge Barry Ostriger at the Supreme Court of New York sided with PAX and ruled Guo was indeed a fraud and ordered $117 million contractual damages against Guo in 2020 and an additional $134 million in fine 2 years later. Besides PAX, more than 70 individuals and/or organizations sued Guo in the U.S. between 2017 and 2020. Since March 2017, Miles Guo has developed a notorious reputation due to the media's broad coverage of his legal cases in which he has been referred to as a fugitive, liar, double spy, raper, and fraudster. Australian Strategic Policy Institute published a report detailing its analysis and findings of 23,750 Twitter accounts. About 350,000 tweets, predominantly in the Chinese language, occurred from January 2018 to April 2020, among which tweets attacking Guo made up the second largest topic. Stanford University studied the same dataset and arrived at similar findings. Both institutions concluded that the CCP is behind the social media malign influence operation. In the recent charges announced by DOJ and SEC in March, Guo is a conman and serial fraudster. So, how on earth did a man with such a bad reputation attract so many investors and raised so much money? Who is he really? Miles Guo is also known as Kwok Ho Wan or Guo Wengui. He grew up in a poor Chinese rural household in northeast China, where the Communist Party had exiled his parents during Mao's Cultural Revolution. Guo's parents regularly struggled to provide food and shelter for their 8 boys. At age 13, Guo dropped out of school and started selling goods to earn a living. Watching his parents struggle while living in exile instilled in Guo a passion for justice and democracy. During the Tiananmen Square protests in 1989, 19-year-old Guo sold his motorbike and donated approximately $500 to student protesters. This led to his arrest in May 1989 and the subsequent 22 months imprisonment. On the day of his arrest, 2 CCP police raided Guo's office and started shooting at his wife and infant daughter. Guo's younger brother attempted to shield them and was shot twice. Even though he was rushed to the hospital, the CCP police ordered no treatment, so no doctors dared to touch him, and he bled to death 2 days later, just a week short of his 18th birthday. Guo endured almost 2 years of excruciating physical and mental torture, during which he met many prisoners of conscience, many of whom became his mentors. But very sadly, few survived. Guo witnessed the execution of more than 60 of them. This, along with the death of his younger brother, further strengthened Guo's resolution to seek justice for the innocents and fight oppression. He understood, to be an effective force for change, he first had to become successful and influential. In the next 3 decades, he did things that no one dared to do. He said no to the Chinese Communist Party.